Have you ever dealt with a narcissist, a manipulator, or any kind of toxic person? You probably felt like you were losing your mind, second-guessing yourself, thinking about what you did wrong, or trying to make them understand your perspective. Maybe you kept apologizing or bending over backward to keep the peace, only to feel like pieces of yourself were slipping away after every conversation. It's a painful realization when you finally understand that all your efforts have been in vain. Assuming, of course, you aren't too deeply attached yet. Toxic people are often masterfully cunning, and once they've got you in their grasp, it can be extremely challenging to escape the mental chaos they create just for you. The thing about toxic people is that, at first, they feel so good. Maybe they come with a bait that lures you in, or perhaps circumstances force you to stick around, making it hard to break free and pretend they don't exist. But you, the innocent victim, notice all the little details right in front of you, the contradictory stories, the manipulative messages. You wonder how they miss the truths that are so obvious to you, and you hope that if you try hard enough to show them your perspective, they'll come around. But for every ABC you lay out, toxic people only see 123. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, they're just people and people deserve chances, right? But with every chance you give them, you lose a little more of yourself. For every toxic person you encounter, you can make countless mistakes in dealing with them. They hide in plain sight, wearing masks of friendship, cloaked in seemingly good intentions. But worry not, because today I'm going to share with you how to deal with toxic people and outsmart their manipulative games. Whether it's in romantic relationships, friendships, family, or the workplace, I'll equip you with the tools to survive. To begin, you must understand who, or rather, what you're dealing with. One of the first things to recognize is that manipulators come in many forms. Broadly speaking, I categorize them into two types: conscious and unconscious manipulators. Unconscious manipulators are often shaped by their past experiences. They may have picked up their manipulative habits over time, perhaps as a defense mechanism. As a result, they might not even realize the harm they're causing. Yet, their manipulation can be just as damaging. As a wise saying goes, it's harder to wake someone who pretends to be asleep than someone who is truly asleep. Their behavior might be unintentional, but it's dangerous nonetheless. On the other hand, conscious manipulators know exactly what they're doing. They understand how you think, they predict how you'll react, and they craft their tactics with precision. These individuals deliberately exploit your emotions, twisting reality to fit their agenda. They know how to push your buttons and exploit your weaknesses, and they won't hesitate to use this knowledge against you. Whether you've encountered narcissists, people so self-absorbed that they diminish your own sense of self, or borderlines, who weaponize their emotional instability to manipulate through guilt and anger, or perhaps psychopaths, cold, calculating, and capable of blending charm with cruelty, the outcome is often the same. These individuals leave you feeling drained, questioning your worth, and doubting your sanity. Whatever type of manipulator you've faced, the impact is often traumatic. They might be Machiavellian, cunningly strategic and ruthless, or gaslighters, experts at making you question your own reality. And before you know it, their darkness becomes a part of you, seeping into your thoughts, your behavior, and your sense of self. Dealing with toxic people requires preparation and strategy. Here's a step-by-step approach to navigate their games and protect your peace of mind. The final tip is a cheat every toxic person detests. So, make sure to stick to the end and learn how to repel bad energy immediately. 1. Change your mindset. Live above their tactics. The first and most crucial step is changing your mindset. No matter what kind of relationship you had or how long it lasted, you must elevate yourself beyond their reach. Accept that there is nothing you can do or say to change how they treat you. They thrive on mind games, planting seeds of doubt and controlling narratives. but you can strip them of their power by mentally detaching yourself from their words and actions. Recognize that you cannot change everyone or everything. Some battles are not worth fighting, especially when the other person is playing by an entirely different rulebook. Focus on what you can control: your own emotions, boundaries, and responses. 2. Accept the truth. They don't care about you. This may sound harsh, but it's a truth that will save you heartache. Toxic people, regardless of their type, only see the world from their own perspective. They prioritize their needs, their feelings, and their comfort above yours. This is why they can disregard your boundaries without a second thought. Once you stop expecting empathy from them, you'll save yourself from disappointment. Remember, you are not responsible for fixing their problems. Your compassion is valuable, but it doesn't mean you have to be their emotional punching bag. 3. Play mind games. Right back. You see, toxic people are experts at turning your mind against you, but two can play that game. Instead of allowing them to twist your reality, try mirroring their tactics to protect yourself. This doesn't mean stooping to their level, but it does mean refusing to be emotionally available for their manipulations. For example, if they try to guilt trip you into doing something, respond with cool indifference. If they twist your words, repeat yourself calmly and consistently until they have no choice but to back down. By maintaining emotional distance, you take away their power to influence your feelings. 4. Set clear boundaries. One of the best tools in dealing with toxic people is setting firm boundaries. Boundaries protect your time, energy, and mental well-being. They are not negotiable, and you don't need to justify them. Decide what is and isn't acceptable to you. For instance, if they tend to blow up your phone with demands, let them know that you will only respond during certain hours. If they habitually cross the line with hurtful comments, tell them you will leave the conversation if it continues. And most importantly, stick to your boundaries. Toxic people will test them repeatedly, but standing your ground will ultimately show them that you can't be easily manipulated. 5. Limit contact or cut them off completely. It's not always possible to cut off toxic people immediately, especially if they're family members or colleagues. But wherever possible, limit contact. Create physical and emotional space between you and them. Reduce the time you spend together, avoid unnecessary interactions, and keep conversations surface level. If cutting them off is an option, don't hesitate to take it. Ending toxic relationships is an act of self-respect. It may feel difficult at first, but think of it as reclaiming your freedom. You deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift you, not those who drain you. And finally, trust your instincts. Lastly, always trust your instincts. If you feel like someone is bad for you, they probably are. Toxic people have a way of gaslighting you into ignoring your own intuition, but don't fall for it. Pay attention to how you feel around them. If you constantly feel anxious, stressed, or like you're walking on eggshells, that's a red flag. Your feelings are valid, and you are entitled to protect your peace. Listen to the part of yourself that knows when it's time to walk away. And finally, the golden strategy to repel every kind of toxic person. Master the art of gray rocking. Gray rocking is a technique where you make yourself as boring and unresponsive as possible to a toxic person. By offering minimal reactions and avoiding emotional engagement, you become less interesting to manipulate. Toxic people thrive on drama, so if you deprive them of a reaction, they often lose interest. For example, if they try to provoke you with criticisms or outbursts, respond with calm, non-committal answers like, "Okay," or "I see." This approach can be particularly effective with narcissists who crave attention and validation. It's never easy dealing with or healing from toxic people, but it's even more agonizing when the ones who made you dysfunctional tell you you need therapy. So, make the choice now and fight back, because it's either you or then you can't cohabit. With the right mindset and strategies, you can protect your mental well-being and maintain your sense of self. Remember, you have the power to choose who gets to be a part of your life and how much of your energy you're willing to give. Not every battle is worth fighting, and not every person is worth saving. You deserve a life free from manipulation and negativity, so don't be afraid to prioritize yourself. By following these steps, you'll be well equipped to deal with toxic people, whether they come in the form of a difficult boss, a manipulative friend, or a draining family member. Empower yourself with the knowledge that you don't have to tolerate toxicity, and that you're stronger than their attempts to bring you down. Enjoyed this video? Then check our other videos.